smoke over Terra Nova. The sky over Terra Nova was blue just 1 hour ago. Now it was black dot smoke covered the sun. Flames roused from the colony buildings. Alarms screamed. People ran through the streets, shouting, crying, looking for loved ones. The peaceful farming colony had no soldiers, no weapons. Only families, workers, and children. And now it was under attack. From above, the alien fleet hovered like silent shadows. Their ships had no names, no mercy. Their weapons fired beams of plasma that melted steel. Homes turned to ash, roads cracked, trees burned, drones flew low, scanning for life. When they found it, they fired. Commander Riva stood on the bridge of the alien command ship, looking down at the chaos. "Humans build so slowly," she said, her voice cold. "But they die so fast." Beside her, her second-in-command gave a short laugh. "No warships, no defense grid. This colony is a gift," Riva smiled. "It is not war. It is cleanup." On the ground, a little girl hid inside a food storage unit. Her name was Lyra. Her mother had pushed her inside before running to help others. Lyra held her stuffed animal tight, trying not to cry. Through a crack in the door, she saw a large shadow pass. Something metal. A drone. It stopped. It scanned. Then it flew away. She stayed still. She had learned movement meant death. Far across the burning fields, a man named Captain Elric crawled through the ruins. His leg was bleeding. He had once been a soldier, long ago. Now he was just a farmer. But when the attack began, something old woke inside him. He reached the old radio tower. It was broken, but maybe it could still send a signal. He climbed the stairs, using a pipe to help him walk. The console sparked, but it lit up. He sent out a message, a short one. Terra Nova attacked. No warning. No defense. Please tell Earth. We are dying. They came. The message repeated again, then again, until the tower collapsed around him. Back on Earth, General Holt stood in a dark war room under the Rocky Mountains. He was silent, watching the signal repeat on the screen. An officer beside him said, "Sir, that's the 6th colony this month." Holt didn't blink. "They're getting closer. The council says we should wait." General Holt turned his head. His voice was quiet but sharp. "We waited when Europa fell. We waited when Alara burned. Now Terra Nova." He stepped forward and turned off the screen. "Send word to Black Vault." The officer hesitated. "Sir, are you sure?" "Yes," the officer swallowed hard. "Which units, sir?" Holt answered with a word that made the room go silent. "Dragons." Far beneath Earth's crust, locked behind a vault of titanium and ancient codes, something began to hum. Engines warmed. Lights turned red. Metal claws unclenched after years of silence. Nuclear cores spun to life. One by one, 7 cages opened. But only 3 had something inside. 3 massive shapes, half machine, half organic, stood motionless. Each one looked different. Wings made of steel, eyes like fire, tails shaped like cannons. These were Earth's sleeping giants, born not of myth, but warred out above. Another officer ran toward Holt. "Sir, we received the message. Terra Nova's last signal. It's confirmed. Civilian casualties over 90%. General Holt nodded slowly. "Then it's time they meet what Earth made to protect its children." He turned toward a screen showing the alien fleet still circling the dying colony. No mercy. No negotiation. Wake the dragons. On Terra Nova, the fires were dying. There was nothing left to burn. Riva walked through the ashes of what was once a school. Her boots crunched on glass. A child's drawing floated through the air, blackened on the edges. She picked it up. A smiling sun, A tree. A girl and her mother. She crushed it in her fist. Next world, she ordered. We move at dawn. But dawn would not come for Riva. Something had already left. Earth. And it was coming fast. Something that didn't smile. Something that didn't forget. Something. Called Dragon. The Dragon vaults opened beneath the Rocky Mountains. Earth's deepest military facility roared to life. For years, it had been quiet, dark tunnels, thick doors, and machines covered in dust. But now, red lights flashed. Sirens echoed through the steel corridors. The Dragon Vault was open. General Holt stood on the control deck, arms crossed. His eyes never left the glass wall in front of him. Beyond that glass stood 3 enormous machines. Not tanks. Not ships. Something else. Dragons. Each. One was different, alive, with quiet power. The first was dark red, like molten lava. Its body was covered in heat-resistant armor. Steam hissed from its chest. Its name was Inferno. The second was black and silver, sleek, fast, wings made from folded alloy blades. It hummed with quiet energy. Its name was Striker. The third looked ancient, almost like stone. Its frame was heavy, slow, but its claws were crushing machines. Its name was Gravemaw. A voice came over the speaker. Neural systems sensed. Reactors. Stable. Pilots ready for merge. Holt nodded. Begin. 3 soldiers stepped into the merge chambers, each one chosen long ago. Not because they were strong, but because they could bond. Dragon pilots didn't control the machines like normal vehicles. They linked minds. They felt what the Dragon felt. They burned when the Dragon burned. Lieutenant Ciraride entered first. Tall, quiet, her heart full of fire and pain. She placed her hand on Inferno's merge node. Pain for pain, she whispered. Lights turned red. The bond began. Next came Commander Jules, pilot of Striker. He smiled like a storm. He moved like wind. Let's dance again, he said, touching the core. Striker lit up, wings unfolding like razors. Last was Captain Rourke, old and calm. A mountain in a human body. He didn't speak. He just placed a hand on Gravemaw. The chamber shook. 3 Dragon units were now alive. They were ready, but one question still burned in Holt's mind. Where is the 4th? Somewhere far from the military base. In a forgotten part of Earth. In a snow-covered valley surrounded by broken ruins. A young man named Jace Wren walked alone. He had no armor. No command. Only a strange feeling in his chest. He followed. It through the storm, step by step. His feet were frozen. His lips were cracked. But he kept walking. Until he saw it. A shape buried in the ice. A monster. A machine. A dragon, bigger than the others. Scarred, chained, sleeping. The 4th dragon. Name had been erased from records. He moved closer. He didn't know why. But the moment his hand touched the ice, the dragon's eyes glowed. Bright gold. And it looked at him, not like a machine, like it remembered. Back in space, Riva's fleet moved to the next colony. She stood on her warship's bridge, still calm, still certain. Earth has not replied, her second-in-command said. No defense, no warning, no retaliation. Of course not, Riva replied. Humans are slow, weak, emotional. By the time they act, we will already rule their skies. But something was coming. Fast. From Earth. Hot. Angry. General. Holt watched the live feed. 3 dragons flew over the Pacific, rising into the stratosphere. Inferno left trails of burning red vapor. Striker vanished and reappeared in sonic bursts. Gravemaw moved slowly, but every step cracked the sky. A tech officer turned to Holt. Sir, should we warn them? Holt didn't blink. No. They started this. Let the dragons finish it. And deep in the snow, The fourth dragon stood tall, awake, alive, ace. Stood before it. Shaking he whispered, "What are you?" The dragon lowered its head. It didn't speak. It didn't need to it opened its wing and let him climb in without training without fear. The fourth dragon launched into the sky. Its scream was not a war cry, it was a promise, fire over Ares. Ares Gate was Earth's final line before deep space, a massive orbital outpost floating in silence above Mars' orbit. Ares Gate connected Earth's colonies to the far sectors. It was old but strong, built during the first wave of expansion. Now it stood empty. No ships, no signals, no survivors. Riva's fleet hovered above it like a hungry cloud. Dozens of alien warships moved in perfect formation. Drones scanned the ruins below. Debris floated where human cargo ships once passed. Inside her command vessel, Riva sat calmly. "The last gate," she said. "Soon we reach Earth." Her second in command tilted his head. Still no response from their military. "Good," Riva replied. "Humans fear war. They send peace. We send fire." Suddenly an alarm blared. "Contact detected," a voice called out. "Single object, small, fast." Riva raised an eyebrow. "A fighter?" "No, too fast. No heat signature. No ID. It's coming from Earth's side. Put it on screen." The view shifted. A red dot in the blackness of space. Then a blur. Then dash flames. A shape emerged. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't human. It was something else. The lead alien pilot spoke into the comm. What is that?" The object flew past Ares Gate, smooth, silent, glowing red beneath its armor. Its wings stretched like blades. Its mouth opened and plasma burned inside. Riva stood up slowly. "That's not a fighter." "No," her officer said, voice shaking. "It's a dragon." Inferna arrived with rage. Pilot Sira Ride felt its heat inside her bones. They were one. Her breath sensed with the dragon's fire core. Every beat of her heart made the wings burn brighter. Her screen showed enemy. Ships locking on. She didn't flinch. Target locked. 5 enemy ships action. Burn. Inferna roared no sound, but the vibration echoed through space. The first beam tore straight through the enemy cruiser's hull. The second melted 2 escort ships in one pass. The third turned a drone swarm into falling sparks. Sira narrowed her eyes. "Pain for pain," she whispered. Behind her, a massive alien battleship launched missiles. Inferna rolled sideways, dodging, with grace no human craft could match. It spiraled, closed the distance, and slammed into the ship's hull teeth first. The ship exploded in silence. And still Inferna flew forward, smoke trailing like a comet of death. On the alien bridge, Riva grabbed the console. "Bring the fleet in formation. Shoot it down." But the creature was already gone. Another officer screamed. "Second contact." New target entering fast. They turned. This one was silver. Faster. Sharper. Striker. Commander Jules laughed as he leaned forward in the cockpit. Striker moved like wind. It vanished, then appeared again behind enemy wings. Its body spun like a blade, cutting through metal and shields. 5 ships fell in under 30 seconds. Jules whispered, "Did you miss me?" The dragon gave no reply, but the sky answered. With fire. Back at Earth Command, General Holt watched the live feed from orbit. One officer gasped, "Sir, they're destroying the enemy faster than any fleet we've ever used." "Not a fleet," Holt said quietly. "These are dragons. They were never built for war. They were built for endings." Another tech shouted, "Sir, third dragon has entered the field." Gravemaw moved slower than the others, but it didn't. "Need speed. Captain Rourke guided the heavy beast straight through the enemy's center line. Ships fired everything they had. Missiles, lasers, beams, nothing stopped him. Gravemaw's thick armor absorbed it all. Then its claws extended, grabbed two ships and crushed them. Together, a silence passed through the alien fleet. Even Riva paused. What are these things? She whispered. Her screen flashed again. Fourth contact. Unknown Idu. The fourth dragon arrived without warning. No signal. No call sign. It just appeared. Gold eyes, silver black, skin. And on its back a young man. Jace. Ren. He looked at the enemy with calm eyes. He didn't speak, but his dragon screamed, and the scream shook every alien heart. Not because of the sound, but because of the feeling. This one wasn't just a machine. It was angry, and it was alive. And still Inferna flew forward, smoke trailing like a comet of death. On the alien bridge, Riva grabbed the console. Bring the fleet in formation. Shoot it down. But the creature was already gone. Another officer screamed. Second contact. New target entering fast. They turned. This one was silver. Faster. Sharper. Striker. Commander. Jules laughed as he leaned forward in the cockpit. Striker moved like wind. It vanished, then appeared again behind enemy wings. Its body spun like a blade, cutting through metal and shields. 5 ships fell in under 30 seconds. Jules whispered, "Did you miss me?" The dragon gave no reply, but the sky answered. With fire. Back at Earth Command, General Holt watched the live feed from orbit. One officer gasped, "Sir, they're destroying the enemy faster than any fleet we've ever used." "Not a fleet," Holt said quietly. "These are dragons. They were never built for war. They were built for endings." Another tech shouted, "Sir, third dragon has entered the field." Gravemaw moved slower than the others, but it didn't. Need speed. Captain Rourke guided the heavy beast straight through the enemy's center line. Ships fired everything they had. Missiles, lasers, beams, nothing stopped him. Gravemaw's thick armor absorbed it all. Then its claws extended. Grabbed two ships and crushed them. Together, a silence passed through the alien fleet. Even Riva paused. What are these things? She whispered. Her screen flashed again. Fourth contact. Unknown Idu. The fourth dragon arrived without warning. No signal. No call sign. It just appeared. Gold eyes, silver black, skin. And on its back a young man. Jace. Ren. He looked at the enemy with calm eyes. He didn't speak, but his dragon screamed, and the scream shook every alien heart. Not because of the sound, but because of the feeling. This one wasn't just a machine. It was angry, and it was alive. The fourth dragon Rise Jace Ren sat inside the fourth dragon's cockpit, but he wasn't in control. Not really. He wasn't trained like the others. He wasn't a soldier. He had never even left Earth's surface before. But somehow, the dragon listened to him. Its body moved with his breath. Its wings opened with his thoughts, and its heart. It burned with something more than fire. It remembered pain. Jace didn't know its name. No one did. Its records had been deleted from Earth's system long ago. Even the other dragon pilots had only heard whispers. Too powerful, too emotional, too dangerous. Now it was flying again with Jace, and the galaxy would soon remember what Earth had hidden. In space, the battle over Ares Gate had turned into a nightmare for the alien fleet. Inferna dove through thick plasma clouds, melting anything that moved. Striker vanished and reappeared like lightning, tearing wings off cruisers. Gravemaw pushed through the heaviest enemy lines like a slow, unstoppable avalanche. But then everything stopped. The alien fleet began pulling back, not because of the damage, not because of fear, but because of one sound. A roar. Not mechanical. Not coded, alive. The fourth dragon's scream crossed space like thunder, shaking even Earth's orbiting satellites. Inside the alien command ship, Riva fell silent. "What is that?" her officer asked, voice trembling. Riva didn't answer. She was staring at the screen. There, in the middle of her fleet, floated the silver-black beast. Its body shimmered with energy. Its eyes burned like twin suns. And riding it was a human. No armor. No helmet. Just wind in his hair and fire behind him. Jace raised one hand. The dragon responded, its chest opened. A golden core began to glow. Back in Earth's War Command Room, alarms flared. Unknown power surge. An officer shouted. "The fourth unit is charging something. We've never seen this before." General Holt leaned in. Visual. The screen lit up. Everyone in the room went quiet. The fourth dragon hovered in space, motionless, glowing, and then it fired. The beam wasn't like normal weapons, it wasn't plasma, it wasn't laser, it was light, pure, focused energy. It hit the largest alien warship and passed straight through it like a knife through glass. But the ship didn't explode, it simply vanished, disintegrated, gone, The other enemy ships started fleeing, but they were already marked. The dragon turned. One by one, burning paths through space, Jace sat still, his eyes full of something ancient. Not hate, not revenge, just sorrow, On the alien command ship, chaos broke out. Officers shouted. Pilots ran. Ships collided as they tried to escape. Riva grabbed the console. "Regroup. We are not finished." But her words were hollow. Even she could feel it. This was no longer a war, It was judgment. She looked at the fourth dragon again. It wasn't like the others, It didn't follow orders, It didn't attack out of rage, It moved like a force of nature. Like it had been waiting for this moment, in the fourth dragon's mind. Jace saw flashes, memories, old battles. Children, screaming, cities burning. But it wasn't the dragon's fault, It had once tried to stop a war long ago. When generals wanted destruction, it refused. It had chosen mercy, and for that, it had been locked away, forgotten, alone, until Jace found it. Now, it wasn't alone, and it would never be forgotten again. One alien ship turned to flee toward deep space. The fourth dragon chased it. Stryker flew beside it. Commander Jules opened comms to Jace. "You're not military, kid. But whatever you are, keep flying." Jace smiled faintly. "I'm just making sure they never do this again." He closed his eyes. The dragon's wings opened wider than ever before. And space turned to fire. Back at Earth Command, General Holt spoke to his officers. "Send a message to all colonies." "What message, sir?" He looked up. "We woke the fourth. They should never have made us do it. The enemy begs for peace." The sky above Ares Gate was now quiet. Alien wreckage floated everywhere, burning, broken, lifeless. 3 dragons circled slowly, guarding the area. But it was the fourth dragon that kept the galaxy silent. Its golden eyes watched the stars like a hunter. No ship dared move. No fleet dared enter. And deep inside the alien command ship, Commander Riva could feel something she never felt before. Fear. She had fought in 20 battles, crushed 6 worlds. She thought humans were soft, kind, and weak. But now, she had seen what Earth hid, and she wanted to live. "Open the galactic channel," she ordered. Her officer blinked. "To who?" "To Earth, to the dragons, to whoever listens." The screen lit up. Riva stepped forward. Her armor was cracked. Her voice trembled, but she forced herself to speak. "This is Commander Riva of the Varnock Dominion," she began. "We accept surrender. We ask for peace." There was no answer. She waited. Seconds passed, and a voice spoke, not loud, not angry, just cold. General Holt's voice came from Earth Command. Did you show Terra Nova peace? Riva hesitated. It was war. You hit a farming colony. Children, families. It was a mistake? No, Holt said. It was a decision. Riva stepped back from the screen. Please, she whispered. We didn't know you had these weapons. We didn't know about the dragons. Now, another voice came. In this one from Inferna's pilot, Sierra Ride. Her voice was fire. You didn't know? You didn't care. I lost my sister on Terra Nova. She was 7. Riva's lips parted, but no words came. Then, the 4th dragon appeared on the screen, glowing, silent, behind it. Chase stood inside the cockpit. He didn't speak. He simply raised his hand, and the dragon turned its head toward the fleeing ships. In the outer rim, alien ships were trying to escape. Hundreds of them, cowards, running, the 4th. Dragon locked on. Target, fleeing Dominion. Survivors. Jace's finger hovered above the fire command, but he didn't press it. He said one word. Wait. The dragon paused. Even the fire in its chest, dim.JAC, opened the galactic channel, and his voice, young, clear, and calm, echoed through space. You say you want peace, Jace said. Then prove it. Send rescue ships to the colonies you attacked. Release all human prisoners. Give Earth full control over the Armistice Zone. He leaned closer. And one more thing, tell every species in the galaxy. He pointed at the screen. Touch our colonies again, and next time we don't stop. Silence followed. Then Riva bowed her head. Yes, we agree. She cut the transmission and dropped to her knees, not because she lost a battle, but because she saw what humans became when you burned their homes. Back on Earth, General Holt turned to his officers. Prepare peace terms, but leave the dragons in orbit. Sir, one asked, do you think they'll ever try again? Holt looked out the window, at this golden streak in the sky, the 4th dragon. No, he said, because now they know what we keep under our bed. In space, the dragons pulled back, but their names were now whispered across the stars. Children on alien worlds had new bedtime warnings. Don't hurt a human. Don't touch their land, or the dragons will come. And Jace? He stood. On the 4th dragon's back, wind in his face, fire behind his eyes. He didn't ask for war. He didn't want power. But now, he carried Earth's final warning, and the galaxy listened. Inside the enemy throne room, the Dominion homeworld was silent. No celebration, no victory chants, no pride. Only fear. The great palace stood in the center of the capital city, a tower of black glass and gold steel, once shining with power. Now it looked small beneath the shadow of what circled above it. The 4th dragon it hovered low in the sky. Its wings stretched wide, casting darkness over the city. The people didn't scream. They didn't run. They just watched and waited because the dragon wasn't alone. On its back stood a human, Jace Wren. Inside the palace, the alien emperor sat on his throne. He was massive, ancient, covered in golden armor and glowing marks of rank. His guards stood frozen, weapons ready, but hands shaking. You said Earth weak, one whispered to him. You said they would beg. The emperor did not reply, because the palace walls began to shake. A sound like thunder echoed through. The hall. Something had landed. The doors, tall and armored, melted. Opened. Not from a bomb. From heat, from fire. Jace walked in. No armor. No army. Just one boy and the dragon behind him. Watching through the broken ceiling. The guards raised their weapons. But the emperor raised a hand. Stand down. Jace stopped 5 steps from the throne. The emperor spoke first. You have won. Human. Jace didn't move. I didn't come for victory. The Emperor tilted his head. Then what did you come for? Jace's voice was low, but every word was sharp. I came to look in your eyes. The man who gave the order. The one who told them to burn Terranova. The Emperor shifted slightly. It was war. Collateral damage. No, Jace cut him off. It was murder. The Emperor's face hardened. You can't stop war with one boy and a beast. Jace stepped closer. You're right. I can't stop war. He pointed to the dragon, but he can end empires. Above them, the fourth dragon growled, a deep sound. A warning. The Emperor stood up, voice full of pride. Then destroy me. Show the galaxy how cruel your kind can be. Jace paused. Whole room held its breath. He looked into the eyes of the Emperor, then said, No. The Emperor blinked. No. Jace turned and walked back toward the door. Death is too easy. You want legacy? You want history? He looked over his shoulder. Then live with the shame of surrender. Let your children grow up knowing Earth bent your crown. The dragon lowered its head. Jace climbed on Dot as they lifted into the sky. He sent one final message. You don't fear us because of what we destroy. You fear us because we choose not to. Back in orbit, General Holt received the report. Throne room confrontation complete, said the officer. No deaths. No strikes. No retaliation. Holt nodded. What did he say? The officer looked up. He said, Let your children know Earth bent your crown. General Holt smiled, just a little. From that day forward, the Varnic Dominion never sent another ship to Earth space. In fact, they stopped sending ships anywhere for a long time. They built walls. They signed peace. They whispered stories to their young about the human, who walked into fire and walked back out untouched. And above their skies. Whenever they saw a golden light in the stars, they looked twice, because they feared what might return. And far away, Jace stood on a quiet cliff on Earth, the fourth dragon beside him. I think we did it, he said softly. The dragon rumbled. Not a roar, just a calm sound, a sound that meant peace for now. Jace smiled and whispered, Let's watch the stars. The new galactic law, the war was over. The fires had faded. The dragons had returned to orbit, and the galaxy had changed forever. In the days that followed, ambassadors from every known species contacted Earth, not with threats, but with respect. They had seen the flames at Ares Gate. They had watched a boy walk into the enemy's throne room alone, and they understood now. Earth was not weak. Earth was watching. Special gathering was called. The Galactic Council met in unity for the first time in years. From ice worlds and jungle planets, oceans and asteroid belts, leaders came. There was only one topic on the agenda, a new law. The chamber was full. Thousands of beings, millions watching across every system. Then the room went quiet, because Earth's representative had arrived. Not a politician, not a general. Boy. Jace Wren. He walked into the Grand Council alone, but no one dared question his presence, because behind him, on a screen, hovered the fourth dragon. Its gold eyes watched the chamber, and the chamber watched back. The council leader, a tall being of blue glass-like skin, stood. Human Jace, we welcome your words. Jace looked around. He didn't speak like a hero. He didn't shout. He just told the truth. Earth never wanted war, he said. We built homes, not bombs. We sent ships with peace flags, not guns. He paused. But when you attacked our colonies, when you hurt our families, we didn't ask for revenge. He raised his hand. We warned you. Silence filled the room. Now hear this, all of you. Let it be written in every starport, every council record, and every child's memory. He pointed at the council floor. Touch Earth's colonies again, and the dragons will return. The chamber stayed silent. Then the blue-skinned leader slowly nodded. We propose a new law. He turned to the room. All colonies with the Earth seal shall be protected under Dragonfire Protocol. Any attack on these colonies shall be considered an attack on galactic peace itself. He paused. Does the council accept? One by one, the species raised their hands. Even old enemies, even the Varnock Dominion. The law passed. Outside, news spread across the stars. The holoscreens lit up. Every system saw the message. A video of the fourth dragon flying through space, glowing like a sun. Below it, 6 words flashed in every language. Touch Earth's colonies and burn. Back on Earth, General Holt watched the broadcast. He didn't smile. He just closed his eyes for a moment, then whispered to himself, finally, they understand. And far from the cities, in a quiet field beneath the stars, Jace sat beside. The fourth dragon. They didn't speak much. They didn't need to. The dragon had shown him pain, power, and peace. Jace had given it something back. A purpose, a bond, a future. As they watched the sky, the dragon let out one soft growl, low and warm. Jace smiled. No more battles today. He leaned back on the grass. And maybe no more tomorrow either. But in the darkness beyond, across cold stars and forgotten planets, others watched too. And they remembered the day they learned fear, the day they saw fire given wings, the day they realized humans don't just fight back. And wars. Final message to the galaxy. Never strike first. Never forget Terra Nova. And never ever wake the dragons. The end.